Hi, I'm Kristen Oaks-White.
And I'm Avery Davidson. Thank you for joining us for This Week in Louisiana Agriculture, the only TV show bringing Louisiana farmers and consumers together every week.
Well, the results are in, and it looks like this year's Thanksgiving meal is going to be cheaper than in 2015.
Each year, the American Farm Bureau surveys the cost of Thanksgiving items on its Holiday Market Basket survey. This year, the Louisiana Farm Bureau Women's Leadership Committee put together its own survey through members across the state.
The survey found that in Louisiana, the total cost of this year's items was $49.79, which is about 30 cents less than last year's average. The 2015 American Farm Bureau survey had it at $50.11.
The national 2016 survey has it at $49.87, so Louisiana wins there too. Louisiana had 5 surveys that contributed to the national one. So when we look at some of the specifics, this is across the state. First of all, the turkey comes in at $1.43 a pound, pretty much even with this year's national survey. Stuffing with that turkey is $2 a box, significantly cheaper.
Pumpkin pie, too, is a bargain. Right now, less than $3 for a 30-ounce mix. Pie shells for those pumpkin pies are coming in at $2.50 for 2, slightly less expensive than Americans. Sweet potatoes grown right here in Louisiana are at $1.09 a pound, a savings of 11 cents.
Rolls are a bit more than the national average at $2.59 for 12 compared with $2.46 nationally. Green peas are on par with the U.S. survey at $1.59 per can. Whole milk here is a little bit more expensive than the national trend, likely the result of fewer dairies here in Louisiana. Cranberries, meanwhile, are dead even with Americans' market basket numbers. For a list of all the surveyed items, both in Louisiana and for the American Farm Bureau Federation, you can log on to our website at twilatv.org. And I'm not too surprised that we're kind of neck and neck, but you notice milk being more expensive here. I mean, we just don't have that many dairies, and it has to be trucked in from so far away.
And you said you buy a lot of milk at your household.
Oh yeah, we go through about 3 gallons a week, so I pay attention to those prices.
I pay attention to those too. Well, the colder weather we usually have around Thanksgiving is a welcome change for Louisiana citrus growers. Farmers grow satsumas, navel oranges, and kumquats on about 800 acres in Louisiana, and much of that is in Plaquemines Parish.
It's with these fresh, sweet fruits that the Louisiana Farm Bureau works to directly connect the farmer with you, the consumer.
Riding through Patrick Becknell's citrus orchard just outside of Belle Chase, Brianna Creel gets to see the fruits of his labor. It's once she's off the truck, she gets to taste these juicy satsumas.
So is there a trick to picking these, or you just pull them, or?
Trick of the trade is gonna give it a little twist. Then to peel it, you just go through the bottom.
Oh, just twist right off.
So, how does this year's Louisiana Satsuma crop taste?
Sweet with a little tang.
This on-the-farm taste test is important for Creel and Louisiana Farm Bureau Holiday Shop Coordinator Wendell Miley. They're going to be selling this fruit right here to Louisiana Farm Bureau members across the state.
You actually get to meet the farmer and see the produce on the tree and know where your produce comes from. And then not only do I get to tell people, hey, you should buy this for our holiday shop, I actually am now going to get to tell them a story about Patrick Becknell and the citrus trees that are in Louisiana and where they come from.
I like to have that closeness to my customers, have that kind of relationship, and through that I get the feedback. I also get to see people enjoy it, and it's more of a closeness. I'm keeping it kind of family-based, you know, in the state where I enjoyed growing and living and growing up. So I'm giving back to that community and to that economy.
For Miley, it's about Farm Bureau connecting farmers and consumers directly.
Especially when you come to the farm and actually come out here and be able to pick a piece of fruit off of that tree that's being raised by that particular farmer. It really shows you the quality and the time and effort that goes into raising a quality crop.
To learn more about the Louisiana Farm Bureau Holiday Shop or to become a Louisiana Farm Bureau member, because you have to be one in order to buy stuff from the Holiday Shop, you can visit our website at twilatv.org. And I'm glad I'm a Louisiana Farm Bureau member because I can get more of those satsumas. I ate about 5 pounds out there in the orchard, and the small ones, That's the secret. The small ones are the sweetest.
Well, I'm going to be purchasing another lemon tree because the one that I bought 2 years ago has somehow passed away.
Oh.
And I don't know what I did. I did everything correctly.
Did you? Did you?
I moved it 3 times. That could be part of the problem.
I think that's it.
Well, can you imagine what your dinner table would look like without Louisiana farmers and ranchers? The ham on the table, the colorful vegetables, the sweet potato casserole. These treats are not born in the grocery store.
The sugar that goes into nearly every dish on the table is no different. Last year, Louisiana sugarcane farmers brought nearly 3 billion pounds of raw sugar to the market. This week, TWILA's Carl Wiggers gives us an update on this year's less than ideal sugarcane harvest.
As Louisiana sugarcane farmers are nearing the midpoint of their grinding season, residents in cane country are seeing a lot more signs like this as a reminder of the huge impact the industry has on its communities. For most of the year, St. Martin Parish farmer Mike Melanson was optimistic about the fruitful impact this year's crop would bring.
We felt we had good stalk population. And for the first half of the year, we felt we had a bumper crop. As a matter of fact, all the way through the summer, we felt we had maybe not a record crop, but really a big crop.
However, as the month of August brought devastating floods to the region, Melanson began to question the crop he was preparing to harvest.
We all had the same fear that this crop stayed way too straight. Considering how tall it is, there is still good stalk length, but the stalk weight is real weak, real light, and there's nothing to do about that.
We have a high population of medium and small size stalks. We really should have large and medium stalks in that population.
Kenneth Gravois is the sugarcane specialist for the LSU Ag Center. He says that the weight was the only thing lacking in this year's crop.
The crop passed the eyeball test. I mean, it looked good. We had good height. We really had good population based on our planting ratios. Just not very heavy.
Further north, Point Capee farmer Marty Graham is also seeing lower tonnage. This is going to shorten their harvest season by a couple of weeks.
With the dry weather and the cane coming out of the field so well, such good quality, the mills have been able to run real efficient. So their grinding rates have been high, coupled with the low tonnage is what's bringing a shorter grinding season for us.
Graham could not ask for better weather during harvest. As you can see, it's dry with little chance of rain in the forecast. It's a stark contrast to most of the crop year.
The rainfall that we've had here in the Baton Rouge area year to date has been just over 85 inches. That's a lot of rainfall. Average rainfall here at the research station is 55 inches. Baton Rouge and other areas may be close to 60 inches. So you can see we're well over 20 inches, almost 30 inches above our average rainfall, and the year's not done.
That rainfall has led to a drop in sugarcane tonnage that seems to be hurting farmers across the industry.
We're at least 20–25% off of where we expected to be, and hopefully we end up only at 15 to 20% down, but it's early yet.
I'm off about 10% from what we would expected or estimate at the beginning of a grinding season.
There is a small silver lining for these farmers, but it's not enough to lessen the blow of this crop's low tonnage.
Sugar content's fairly good, maybe a little above average, but just stalk weight and density is just really down. I mean, to a level we haven't seen in a long time.
Of course, we will not know how next year's crop will turn out with all of this dry weather until harvest time next year. We can only hope the cane planted this year will come up and the farmers will bounce back.
Well, each year the Louisiana Agriculture Hall of Distinction recognizes the contributions extraordinary farmers and ranchers have made to the state's agriculture community. Nominations for the 2017 Louisiana Agriculture Hall of Distinction are still open but are due Monday, November 21st.
The Hall of Distinction was founded in 2013 and seeks to recognize those who have made outstanding contributions to agribusiness in the state of Louisiana. If you know someone who qualifies, please nominate them. There are a lot of great farmers and ranchers here in the state. For more information on the Hall and where you can get those nomination forms, visit our website at twilatv.org.
Well, still to come on TWILA, Thanksgiving may be for turkey, but every day is a good day for chicken fried steak.
Oh yeah, AJ Sabine takes us to Lake Charles where local is on the menu and feasting on agriculture. Stay with us, dinner's almost ready. We've been talking about food a lot on this week's show, with the Market Basket survey for Thanksgiving at the top and a sugarcane, which always makes me think of home and all the sugar my mom would put into those pies. I am getting hungry.
Well, I'm starving. I didn't have lunch, and this feasting on agriculture is not helping anything. Restaurant Cala in Lake Charles finds itself between the cattle culture of Texas and the bounty of South Louisiana's culture of crawfish and rice. This month, TWILA's AJ Sabine finds himself awash in the best of both worlds with a platter of chicken fried steak covered in crawfish sauce, exclusively found at Restaurant Cala on this month's Feasting on Agriculture.
Feasting on Agriculture with AJ Sabine is brought to you by the Louisiana Crawfish Promotion and Research Board, Louisiana Crawfish, ask before you eat, by the Louisiana Rice Promotion Board, Think Rice, and by the Louisiana Beef Industry Council. Beef, it's what's for dinner.
Hey there folks, I'm AJ Sabine and welcome to another exciting Feasting on Agriculture. I'm here in Lake Charles and I have a question for you. What do you get when you combine a beautiful lake city, a protege of the great Thomas Keller of the French Laundry, and farm to table? You get Restaurant Cala. Joining us now is Chef David Sorrells of Restaurant Cala. Thank you so much for having us. What are we cooking today?
We are cooking a 44 Farms chicken fried steak with local green beans and some mashed potatoes. We're also covering the chicken fried steak with a crawfish and black pepper gravy.
I cannot wait. That sounds wonderful. Let's get started.
You bet. So I've done a couple things already. In this pot, this is going to be our gravy. All right, so what I've done is I've actually taken a shellfish stock and I've reduced it almost down to a syrup. I've added milk. The milk we also get locally from Hillcrest Creamery right here in DeRidder, Louisiana.
Really?
So I'm going to heat this up. And basically, like I said, it's almost there. I've also made a...
No, what is this?
This is a beurre monnaie.
What is it? Explain it. I don't even know what that is.
So a beurre monnaie is basically an uncooked roux.
Okay.
All right, so what we're done is equal parts flour and sugar, and it's very pliable, as you can see. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to add enough to this milk mixture to get the consistency I want.
So like a thickener, right?
Exactly. It's going to thicken it up, and just like anything else, you know, you want it to come back up to a boil to get its full thickening power.
You know, Chef, you mentioned about that you got the dairy from a farmer here nearby in DeRidder. Why is that so important to your restaurant to have the fresh ingredients created by a local farmer?
I think for several reasons. I think one of the main reasons is it shows that we support our community. On the other hand, it's got to be good. And so there's a lot of terroir that takes place. There's a lot of, you know, I can go to the store and buy milk and it tastes great. I love milk. But when I buy this milk from DeRidder, it actually has a grassy taste to it. And I don't know if that's just because that's out what the cows eat and it's local, but it makes me feel better supporting people that live here in this area.
Now, I know that you're a protege of the great chef Thomas Keller of the French Laundry out of California. What are some of those lessons about farm to table that he taught you while you worked there?
Well, we were very fortunate in Napa at the French Laundry. We had our own farm, and we got to grow and plant and do a lot of those things.
How have people received your cuisine here in Lake Charles?
I think very well. We do a lot of different things. My background is obviously fine dining, but you know, as I've gotten older, I've realized that it doesn't matter what your background is. There's an emotional connection with cooking. There's we all have chefs call them vices, and they're not vices. One of mine is Whataburger. I can't pass one up. So we call them vices, but it's because it sparks that emotional memory, and that's what food's about. So more so than what we do and what we cook, I'm confident in what we do here. My team is incredible. What we try to really preach is sit down, fellowship, because that's going to create memories, and that's what being around the table is really about. So here I've got the sauce thickened where we need it, and I'm going to go ahead and add quite a bit of black pepper. This is fresh Cala cherries, so we're going to just grind a bunch in, and then we're going to add Louisiana crawfish.
Great.
One of the best ingredients here, and especially here in Cajun country, is rice and crawfish.
I'm very well acquainted with many rice farmers and many crawfish producers, particularly here in Calcasieu Parish.
So I'm going to start the green beans.
Okay.
Basically, we do have back here some mashed potatoes that we kind of made ahead of time. We really like to put a lot of butter in ours, so I just wanted to make sure they weren't going to break.
Oh, I'm on the butter train. Matter of fact, I'm driving the butter train.
We're just going to put a little bit of really thinly sliced bacon in here, and I just want to, basically that's just going to add some flavor to the green beans. The green beans are local. They're actually from M&M Ranch here in Moss Bluff. Stacy Mack is one of the farmers there, and we buy several things from her every week.
So once you render the bacon, what's next?
So I'm going to just add the green beans. What we've done is this is a good example of, obviously our local green beans, which are nice and plump and firm and very beautiful. What I've done is I've already blanched them off. So I brought a big pot of salted water to a boil. So I'm just going to add these green beans. Like I said, they're already really al dente where I want them. And we're just going to finish this in a pan. At this time, I'm going to also start my chicken fried steak. Just like any other steak, we're going to season this just a little bit. I've got seasoning in every, I'm a big proponent of seasoning everything.
That's a beautiful piece of meat.
It is. Like I said, I don't want to lie about the numbers, but something about 44 Farms and the cattle that they take to the feedlots, I want to say 70% of their cattle grade prime. And we're just going to dredge the steak in there first, make sure we get it good and coated. We're going to do a little double dipping.
Okay.
So we're going to go back.
You won't hear me complain about that.
We'll get a good coat on this steak.
And you've already got your cast iron skillet.
I do. I've got it. It's around 350 degrees.
And that's my thing. I have a huge, I'm a big fan of cast iron. On every one of these segments, I talk to chefs about why they favor cast iron, and they all say the same thing. I mean, it holds the heat well, cooks evenly, and they last forever.
That's right.
All right, folks. Chef David said his green beans are almost done. When we get back, I'll show you how this beautiful chicken fried steak dish comes together. Stick around. We'll be right back. All right, folks, we're out of the kitchen and in the dining room of Restaurant Cala. Chef David Sorrells. This looks marvelous.
Thank you.
Tell folks again, remind us what all went into this great recipe.
So we used a great piece of meat from 44 Farms in Cameron, Texas. We used their cutlet. So we did a chicken fried steak. We topped that with a crawfish and black pepper gravy. We did mashed potatoes with a special recipe that's got a lot of butter in it. You'll taste it. And then a local green bean, and basically just added some bacon to that. So it's very much a home-style comfort food dish.
Speaking of comfort, you forgot something. The pillow, because I'm gonna need a nap after this.
Yes, we've got them right behind you.
And as the French would say, you've got a great accoutrement.
That's right.
Shazam! What is that?
That's this year we do a lot with our drinks as well, that very seasonal. And so this is our eggnog. Absolutely, it's got American honey in it, egg, cream, all the good stuff.
All right, well, you know what, Chef, and folks at home or on the internet, wherever you are, this is my favorite part of the Feasting on Agriculture segment. I'm gonna dive right into this beautiful crawfish. And I like how you got it on a cutting board.
That's right.
How apropos.
Right.
See, French Laundry, French.
Uh-huh.
You pick up what I'm putting down?
I see what you did there.
Okay.
Awesome.
That is amazing. So good. And I get to wash that chicken fried steak down with this eggnog?
That's right.
Okay. All right, folks, if I pass out, you know that's a really mighty potent eggnog. Oh, this is fantastic.
It's good stuff, isn't it?
Can I just sip on this?
You can have all of it, absolutely.
Oh man, this is great. Chef David, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Restaurant Cala, absolutely amazing. Folks at home, if you want more information about Chef David or Restaurant Cala or Louisiana beef or Louisiana crawfish, you can always log on to our website at twilatv.org. That's all from here, folks. Thanks again, Chef. We'll see you next time.
Feasting on Agriculture with A.J. Sabine was brought to you by the Louisiana Crawfish Promotion and Research Board, Louisiana Crawfish, Ask Before You Eat, by the Louisiana Rice Promotion Board, think rice. And by the Louisiana Beef Industry Council. Beef, it's what's for dinner.
In this week's Trending on TWILA, we go online to see what you guys were talking about on social media this week.
The most divisive election in history may be over, but people are still talking about the results online. No matter how you voted last week, one fact is certain. The 2016 election cast a spotlight on rural America.
The day after the election, many articles surfaced online focusing on how rural America powered Donald Trump's win. While some critics blamed an uneducated rural America for the nation's new president, members of the rural community were quick to respond. Haley Drake posted a response that went viral on social media titled "Far from Uneducated." In the post, she explains that education often takes place outside of the classroom and that the ag community is filled with intelligent people who are passionate about the job that they do.
In response to Tyron Killam's tweet, "Rural equals so stupid," former RFD-TV reporter Courtney Dayhoff posted this video saying that her first instinct was to fight back, but that perhaps rural America is to blame for this misconception.
We have failed to educate people around the country on what it means to actually live in the country. We have failed to show them that we are highly educated. We have failed to teach them that just because we may have manure on our boots doesn't mean we are any less valuable to society. If this election taught us one thing, it is that rural America wants to be heard.
If you want to see Courtney's entire video or read one of the articles we talked about earlier, we posted a link on our website at twilatv.org. And Kristen, you wrote a very heartfelt article about this very subject.
Well, I have to say that Courtney's video that she posted and the previous article that I mentioned kind of inspired me because there were so many different articles and so many comments from people who probably have never been to rural America that are making comments just like the one you mentioned, that rural America equals stupid. And it just lit a fire up under me, and I didn't want to get into a conversation and argument on Facebook, so I thought that that was the best way to put it to paper and put all of the thoughts in a constructive manner.
And you did an excellent job with it. We're going to post a link to that on our website, twilatv.org, and read every word. Don't say too long, didn't read. Every single word comes from her heart, I can guarantee you that. Very good job, Kristen.
Well, thank you.
We end this Trending on TWILA segment with a super note, or on a super note, with a few of our favorite posts from last week's supermoon. Carrie McMahon captured an awesome photo of the supermoon over the Shreveport skyline.
Paul Carell posted this picture with the caption, "Supermoon Cross." But it was photographer Trevor DeHaas who won the internet with this photo of him and his dog in front of the supermoon in Pennsylvania. And these are some awesome pictures. We loved seeing all of these incredible images. But Avery, you had your favorite.
Oh yeah, I'm showing my geek off right here because there's a wonderful picture I saw on CNET of the supermoon with the International Space Station going across it. Several pictures taken over a 10-second period. And to think about what had to happen in order for that to go on, because the International Space Station moves at 17,000 miles an hour. Okay, that sucker's going really fast, and to get those shots, unbelievable.
Only you would know that type of information.
Geek on my sleeve. Now moving on to this week's TWILA trivia. Last time we asked you, where did the saying "living high on the hog" originate? And the correct answer is B, the U.S. Army. This week's trivia question is, astrologists predict the next supermoon will happen in which year? Is it A, 2034, B, 2099, or C, 3016? To enter this week's Trending on TWILA Trivia contest, simply log on to your Facebook or Twitter account and post your answer with the hashtag TWILA Trivia, or you can always submit your answer on our website at twilatv.org.
Well, that does it for this edition of TWILA. We will be in a rerun next week as the office will be closed for Thanksgiving.
And we spend some quality time with our families. At the top of the show, we showed you the results from our Thanksgiving survey and how it was cheaper this year than last. We want you to know that whether the market goes up or down, whatever the results of any election may be, or however you choose to spend Thanksgiving, our farmers and ranchers are working hard to provide America, the world, and you with the safest, cheapest, and most abundant food supply.
For all of us here at TWILA, we're thankful for you, our viewers. Thanks for joining us, and on behalf of the entire TWILA staff, happy Thanksgiving.